Guys. I'm gonna finally do the final two Scooby Doo creepypastas, which is Wishes Ghosts and Zombie Island. I'll do Zombie Island next week. Right now I'm doing Scooby Doo and the Wishes Ghosts 1998 version. I did Alien Invaders, and they're made by the same person, which is Shadow Lioness 20. She read the story on her own channel, but I'm gonna read it anyway because it's fun to read these stories. So yeah, if you do see a video of me reading Zombie Island, then that's the reason. Anyway, let's do this. I love Scooby Doo. I've been a huge fan of Scooby Doo ever since I was a kid growing up. Now that I'm 23 years old, born in 1996, I still love Scooby Doo movies and TV shows to this day. One of my favorite Scooby Doo movies was Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. The movie came out in 1999. It was a sequel to Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, which most of you didn't know about, which goes into the fact that it was supposed to be 10 times more darker than Zombie Island. Now I have happened to see a very dark version of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. It happened sometime last year in 2018. Here's the story of how it happened. I was on my Xbox One on the Microsoft Store looking for something to do. When I decided to buy something off of the store, I saw a couple of games that I liked. There was Fortnite, Halo 5, Guardians, and other games that were for the Xbox One. Then I noticed that the Microsoft Store had movies. I never bought a movie from Xbox One before, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I scrolled through the movies on Microsoft Store and found Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I sighed. I had a wave of nostalgia moment. I noticed that the copy of the movie was different. The copy of the movie said Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, 1998. I was confused. How would Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost come in 1998? Now I remember that Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost is a sequel to Zombie Island. When Zombie Island movie was finished, the production of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost started around somewhere in 1998, but then it was released on October 5th, 1999. I bought this movie from the Microsoft Store, and it only cost me $10. That was a very good price, I'd say. I bought the movie as I grabbed my snacks from the kitchen, and I got my snacks and a drink, which was Pepsi. Okay. I got back to my bedroom to watch this weird and interesting 1998 version of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. The cover has Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, Fred, the Hex Girls, and even Ben Ravencroft on front, with the Witch's Ghost on, of course. The movie started with Scooby and the gang in the museum solving the mystery. Common scenario with every Scooby Doo movie. The theme song started playing as soon as Shaggy and Scooby were being chased by the people wearing masks. As the theme song ended, the game always went to the mystery of the people behind the costumes. A man stepped out of the large rug to greet Scooby and the gang. Since they never seen him before, they had no idea who it was. Velma, however, recognized him, who the man was. I don't believe it! You're Ben Ravencroft, the famous horror writer, Velma pointed out. That's right, Ben Ravencroft replied as he walked over to the two officers, he holding the two ghosts which had people behind the masks. Now let's see who these two really are. Ben pulled off the mask of the villains who were trying to scare people away. We would have got away with it too, we were for you meddling writer, one of the men said to Ben. While the game was still surprised at this. At least he didn't call us kids, Fred said to Shaggy. I hate that. Fred then asked Ben Ravencroft on what he was doing in the museum. I was doing research on my next novel, Ben explained, when I saw these people were acting strange. I had to find out. Velma then explained to Ben that she was a huge fan of novels, and then she had read them. I know you, Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby, of course. Ben also went on talking about how he heard of the mystery solving mysteries. Ben told Velma that he was going back to Massachusetts this weekend, and explained that he come back every fall. He invited the gang to come along. Really? Velma asked with excitement in her tone. We sure could use a break from solving these creepy old mysteries, Daphne added. When Ben mentioned best food, Shaggy and Scooby were all excited over the food. So far, the 1998 version of the movie was in great quality. The gang drove down to the town called Oakhaven, which is in Massachusetts. When the gang got to Oakhaven, Ben, along with Scooby and the gang, were surprised to see that the town square was crazy busy. It looked like something was going on. Ben, along with Scooby and the gang, got out of the vehicles and see the mayor of Oakhaven. Ben, my boy, I'm glad to see you come home to see this, Mayor Coy welcomed Ben along with Scooby and the gang. The mayor also explained that this Autumn Fest was going on in the town. Hey, Ben, an old man voice was heard. It sounded like he was in the mid to late 50s. Hi, Mr. Knight, Ben said to the physicist. He hadn't been a teacher. Welcome home. We have t-shirts before my stores. Have a t-shirt before my store sells out. You can wear them to the concert tomorrow. Midnight replied. The head girls, Fred added. You heard of them, Fred? Daphne asked. Fred pointed at a banner saying that the concert featured the head girls. Ben looked at the t-shirt he got from Mr. Knight. Written on the t-shirt was a bit disturbing. The shirt read, and I quote, I met the ghost of Oak Haven and died. What the hell, I asked myself. Why did the teacher mention that in the kids' film? We can't argue on this one. It's a 1998 version of the movie, so I expected some dark stuff. Velma started to talk to Ben, saying that there was a ghost in his backyard. It's his own ancestor, the ghost of Sarah Ravencroft, Mayor Coy replied to Velma. That made Ben really mad. That's stupid, Ben said. I thought we got through this. The mayor goes on and on, explaining about how the ghost haunted the place, and the gang replied they were doing ghost haunting. Honey. The gang went on a tour and how the village from the 1960s looked like. It was interesting to see Scooby and the gang interact with certain things about what life was like before years ago. The mayor went on to go about Sarah and how being a witch, but Ben defends himself by saying that Sarah was a healer, not an evil witch. Scooby was digging near a tree stump and found what seemed to be a shoe buckle. Shaggy asked Scooby where he found it. Row, Scooby replied. The gang talked more about info about the ghost of Sarah Ravencroft, and the mayor explained that experience was disturbing the town. Did construction. You see her tonight, Mayor replied, and Shaggy and Scooby stomach started growling. Would like to see a pizza joint. Where's starving? Shaggy said as Scooby agreed. Mayor watched Shaggy and Scooby to the restaurant while Velma, Daphne, Fred, and went Ben to a studio. The screen transitioned to a restaurant where Shaggy and Scooby were ordering pretty much everything from the restaurant. Order anything from the menu, boys, a waiter / owner said as he handed the two menus to Shaggy and Scooby. After hearing the food that Jack mentioned, Shaggy and Scooby were drooling. Give us two of everything, Shaggy said as the scene transitioned to Ben Ravencroft's studio where Velma, Daphne, Fred were looking around. Whose portrait is this? Fred asked. That's Sarah Ravencroft. She's a Wiccan, Ben replied. I think a patient painted her image. Ben then explained to Fred, Daphne, and Velma that the history of Sarah Ravencroft on what she did was as a Wiccan. She mainly cured patients who couldn't afford medical treatment. She had a journal that she kept with all the patient cure written in it. Book. The Wiccan had been accused of witchcraft. In fact, Wiccan comes from the Wiccan. Velma explained that Ben was impressed by Velma's smarts. The next scene transitioned to Shaggy and Scooby were eating the food in the restaurant. They were getting really fat as usually they do when they cook the food. How was the food? Daphne asked Shaggy as he gulped down his food. Pretty darn good, Shaggy replied as the owner of the restaurant left to go to the market as Fred had an idea. Come on, gang, let's go see if the ghost is going to make an appearance, Fred said, but Shaggy and Scooby refused. We'd love to, but we haven't had our dessert yet, Shaggy said. Rah, Scooby replied. The next scene showed portion of the village where Velma, Fred, Daphne, and Ben were all waiting for the ghost to appear. But after a while waiting, no ghost showed up. Ben then explained to Velma he wanted to know where the ghost hid her journal. Boy, Daphne said. Ben is obsessed with that book. Fred nodded in agreement. We shall leave too, Ben said. But Velma looked at Ben. She and the gang didn't want to give up just yet. Give it a chance, Ben. Velma replied as Fred and Daphne both agreed. The next scene shows Shaggy and Scooby leaving the restaurant with huge bellies. They're walking down the quiet street. I was really wondering on why this 1998 version of the movie is different than the 1999 version. Well, sooner or later I was bound to find out. Scooby and Shaggy then looked in one of the alleyways and saw three girls walking towards them. Like, hey, girls, Shaggy said as he and Scooby both looked toward the girls. Hi, all the girls said. And they're vampires, and Shaggy and Scooby just lose their mind. They ran down the road for a minute, then stopped to catch their breath, but all of a sudden a fireball was thrown as Shaggy and Scooby were followed by an evil laugh. Coming from a wicked witch. This towel pay for what they did to me, wicked witch. The wicked witch cackled as she chased Shaggy and Scooby down the road until they bumped into Ben, Velma, Daphne, and Fred. What's going on, guys? Velma asked. Rick and Roche, Scooby explained to Velma. You saw the witch's ghost? Velma asked Scooby as he and Shaggy both nodded. Can you show us where you saw, can you show us where you saw her? Fred asked as he heard groaning from Daphne, who he had sat on. Can you at least get off of me, Fred? Daphne asked as Fred held Daphne up. Sorry, Daphne, Fred replied as Shaggy and Scooby showed their friend and Ben was free the witch was chasing them on. Fred and Daphne noticed some of the branches that were set from the tree were broken. They looked in the straight line across them. Soon the gang heard a rock music in the distance, and the gang wondered what it could be. Let's go see, Velma said. The gang walked towards the forest. Shaggy and Scooby were hiding in bushes, but moved the bushes around to see a stage and where the concert would be held. Hit it, sisters! Came from the lead singer as she hissed on stage. Zoinks! Shaggy shrieked. It's the witches! Easy, girls, it's just the Hess girls, Fred said to Shaggy and Scooby. The Hess girls were performing one of their songs on the screen. The song was called The Hess Girls, and the song was in really great quality. After the song was finished, Shaggy and Scooby clapped for the Hess Girls. Then they noticed Scooby and the gang, along with Ben, been watching them. Dang, but what are you doing here? The lead singer asked. She was playing the guitar. The concert tomorrow, one of the backup singers, she said, playing the drum. Wait a minute, another backup singer said she played the keyboard. Aren't you Ben Ravencroft? Why? Ben chuckled. You're not gonna bite me, are you? Cool, I always wanted to meet you. The head girl jumped on the stage to meet Scooby and the gang. You're like one of us, the lead singer continued. Yeah, you understand what we're into, one of the backup singers added. Shaggy and Scooby were real struggling as one of the backup singers turned around. She had blonde hair, wearing a green dress with green lipstick. She gave Shaggy and Scooby a creepy smile, sort of like, I want to kill you look. Hi, she said as Shaggy and Scooby got chills down their spine. So the names are Fred was then caught off by the lead singer of the Hess Girls. Thorn said, introducing himself. This is Dust and Luna. We're the Ego Glass, Thorn explained. It's been nice to meet y'all. We gotta get back to rehearsing. After the gang walked away from the stage, Fred looked at the gang. Those Hess Girls seem strange, Fred said. Velma nodded in agreement. Daphne and I should go follow them. Why always pair with Daphne? Velma asked Fred. He didn't know what to say after Velma asked that question. He blushed at the thought. Velma even goes off to search a barn after following the tracks, while Shaggy and Scooby follow the Mayor Coy in Oakhaven. The next scene transitioned to Daphne and Fred in the woods. Daphne asked Fred why he always pair up with her. Fred began to plan when he and Daphne heard the Hess Girls walking down the path. They both ended up hiding in the bushes as they watched the Hess Girls walk by. I think we have to go perform our ritual, girl, Thorn said to her girlfriends. Okay. Not tonight, Thorn, Dust explained. I'm too tired from practicing, Dust yawned with Luna. Me too. How about tomorrow? Just before the concert, Luna suggested. Fine, I'll do it myself, Thorn said. The thing is, her tone of voice sounded different. Sounded more like she wanted to hit somebody. Fred and Daphne looked to see Thorn walking away from her friends. Thorn seems to be the leader. Let's follow her, Fred said. Daphne agreed. I could hear her stop crying from Thorn. I could barely hear her through. She was murmuring something under her breath, but I couldn't understand what she was saying. The next scene showed Shaggy and Scooby following the mayor, and they were a close call on almost being caught. Another scene appeared with Velma and Ben inside the barn. The truck, still warm, Velma said to Ben. He and then asked Velma who was driving it this late at night. That's the mystery, Velma replied as the scene cut to Thorn walking towards the scene to be their house. She walked inside and muttered herself and silently crying. Daphne and Fred followed Thorn to a backyard where Thorn walked inside her shed. Daphne and Fred crouched down near a window of the shed. The scene showed Thorn inside the shed. She was crying. She was doing a ritual. She had a mixing bowl, herbs and stuff. I paused the movie to see something silver. I haven't seen there was a blade. It appeared to be a razor blade. I was starting to get confused about this beta version of the movie. Like, why would there be a razor blade? I guess Thorn was doing self-harm. What made me confused, why would a kids movie have self-harm stuff? Like, I know kids movie would have dark topics, but I didn't bet this. But I brushed it off. Okay, I guess you did. Daphne and Fred looked at each other and they were confused. Did you see what I saw? Fred asked Daphne. If I didn't know any better, I'd say she's a witch, Daphne replied. But what's she doing now? Daphne and Fred watched Thorn inhale loudly, and then she put down the bowl and grabbed the razor blade. Why? Thorn started to whimper as she held the razor blade close to her arm. Why did she leave us, Daddy? Thorn sobbed as she began to cut herself. Luckily, we didn't get to see her cut herself to draw blood. Is she doing self-harm? Fred asked Daphne. Fred, this is serious, Daphne replied. We need to get her some help. Why don't we find out who her parents are? Then they'll surely do something, Fred said to Daphne. The next scene transitions into Shaggy and Scooby following the mayor for some reason. He disappeared when he was walking inside the bar, and Shaggy and Scooby walked inside the bar and they saw the witch ghost again. How dare you disturb my resting place? The witch ghost said in anger. This hell should pay! With that being said, I never expected a kids movie to say a mile fair. Have you Willy Wonka, dude? I'm just saying, you'll be surprised. Anyway, that's the story. But I brushed it off and continued watching Shaggy and Scooby run out of the bar and running into the gang. We followed the mayor inside. Shaggy explained to the gang, and they all nodded. Velma gave the gang her explanation of what's going on. Then Fred and Daphne both explained that Thorn was harming herself with cutting herself with a razor blade. We gotta get her some help, Velma said. But did her friend stop her? No, Fred replied. She was alone. Daphne and I were going to stop her, but we decided we were going to tell her parents. Where did you see the ghost? Velma asked as the scene transitioned to the barn again. The whole gang went inside the barn. Velma has gathered the gang and talked into a plan. The next scene showed Shaggy and Scooby along with Velma on stage. Scooby started to play drums as Shaggy was playing the keyboard. Dust showed up near their drums, seeing Scooby play on them. Hey! She scowled. Scooby stopped and what he was doing, he hid under a blanket. Like, why did you stop, buddy? Shaggy asked as he stopped playing when Luna tapped Shaggy behind him. No one ever touches my keyboard, Luna said as Shaggy chuckled nervously. And hi with Scooby. Thanks for coming, girl, Velma said to the dance girl. We should all be having our rent before the concert tomorrow, Thorn explained as she sounded tired and rather grouchy. We only came here because Ben asked us to. Hey, Ben called out. I was just following orders. As the dance girl started asking Wilma questions, a cool, chilling wind blew in the air as the ghost appeared. It started throwing fireballs down below. This town shall pay for the foul deeds, the witch's ghost screeched. The chase went on until Fred let go of the tree branch and it hit the witch ghost down and onto the metal soccer neck. Okay, let's see who's really behind all of this. Fred pulled off the witch's ghost mask and revealed Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight? Daphne was surprised. The head girl walked toward the commotion. With the door have a look of surprise in her eyes. Daddy? Thorn asked as she crashed down to her father's level. Hello, Sally, Mr. Knight said nervously. Your dad's the ghost? Luna asked Thorn. Your name is Sally? Fred asked as well. What the hell, Daddy? Thorn asked her father. She had a tad bit of anger in her voice. Why did you do something like this? Now, Miss Swearing. Movie didn't really fit me. I know it's a rarity, but I'll let it slide. After all, it's a beta version of the movie. The gang rounded up the clues to the witch's ghost. They soon found out that they were trying to drag Sarah Ravencroft's name through Ben's nerves, and Ben was pissed off with the mayor and Mr. Knight. The scene transitioned to the inside of Ben's house, with the head girl looking at the picture of Sarah Ravencroft's painting. She was a real Wiccan, Luna asked. That's right, Ben replied. So cool, Des said in amazement. She's beautiful, Dorn added. Yes, I think so too, Ben replied as she sighed. And I get so upset when people say she's a witch. I think we owe your girls an apology for thinking you were, Fred stopped for a moment. Well, witches? Daphne finished. We saw you performing your ritual in your shed, and Daphne stopped. We only saw one of you girls self-harming yourself. Oh, that, Thus asked. Oh, that? Thus asked in confusion. What do you mean self-harming? We saw this. Daphne showed the head girl the razor blade covered in blood. Thorn's face went into the shock. I've been self-harming myself since I was 16 years old, Thorn explained. After my mother died in a tragic car accident, I've been unhappy ever since. Why didn't you tell us? Luna asked Thorn. Luna started to cry. I don't know what else to do. Then Thorn then sobbed into Luna's arm. Luna hugged, and Thorn looked at the Fred and Daphne. Thank you for telling us. thus said to Fred and Daphne, we're gonna tell her father everything, and we're gonna get her the help she needs. Thus, then, dried Dawn's tears away with her eyes. How about witches? We don't even pretend that stuff. It's just a gimmick for the band. We're kind of like Wiccans, Luna added. Just ask Thorn, she's one of them. Luna then turned to Thorn. Promise me you won't do self harm to yourself again. I promise, Thorn replied as she cried, the last bit of her tears. 116 blood from my mother's side, and you saw peppermint and clovers to smooth my vocal cords. You think it's easy saying this stuff? Thorn then chuckled at the end. Thorn vibrated, viral vaping is cool, Dust added. We usually do it before and after every show. What were your fangs? Shaggy asked. Now from the movie I know very well, the fangs were fake. In the beta version of the movie, the heads were real vampires. We've been vampires ever since we were in our early teens, Luna explained. I think it's some mutant or something. You don't scare us anymore, at least, Shaggy chuckled. Then the mayor and I walked in and said to them that they're sorry for being a pain in the ass about Sarah Ravencroft. Then Shaggy mentioned the shoe buckle Scooby found earlier in the movie. Scooby, can you show us where you found this? Velma asked. I ring so, Scooby replied. The scene faded to the old tree where Scooby showed the gang where he found the old shoe buckle. When Scooby then digged the hole near the oak tree, pulling out an old box. Ben took the book and opened it. Inside the box was the evil book. Ben, Velma said in shock, that's no journal at all. After that being said, shit started to hit the fan. Because it isn't Velma, it's a spell book, Ben said evilly as he betrayed the gang, including the head girls, even Mayor McCoy and Midnight. Ben opened the spell book to release Sarah, where Midnight and the mayor was running away. Leaving so soon, are we? Ben pulled out a gun. It looks like a revolver being shot at the Mayor Midnight. The sound of the gunshot scared the crap out of me. Where did the gun come from? I had no idea there was a gun thing from to begin with. Mr. Midnight was shot through the shoulder, falling down as he cried in pain. Then the mayor was shot in the leg when she was grunting in pain as well. Daddy! Thorin shouted as she and her friend raced to aid her father. Ben all of a sudden used his match and the headscarf were all thrown in the air, crashing into the wall, knocking all three of them out. Ben then released Sarah Ravencroft's ghost after saying the bell to bring her back to life. Who are you? The ghost asked Ben. Ben Ravencroft, your descendant, Ben said as he started having a conversation with Sarah. All of a sudden, they got in an argument. I have no idea what the argument was about, since the conversation sounded like they were talking in another language for all I know. So Sarah trapped Ben in the ring bubble, and then the gang were all trying to get the book. Daphne and Fred were trying to distract Sarah. 14 years, 14 years. You can't live that long, Fred called out as he and Daphne began to run. That's it! Sarah growled as she summoned two werewolves to chase. Fred and Daphne and Velma were being chased by two pumpkins crashing into the tree. Shaggy and Scooby got the spell book. Sarah turned to the turkey. Kill them! She transformed the turkey into a hyena, started chasing after Shaggy and Scooby. A werewolf jumped onto Daphne and started attacking her. Fred noticed Daphne cried for help as she was trying to keep away from the beast from attacking her. The werewolf then bit on Daphne's arm, causing Daphne to scream in pain. Fred all of a sudden was being attacked by a werewolf. Fred screamed in pain along with Daphne. Thorn slowly opened her eyes and woke up. She saw Daphne and Fred in danger along with the others. She walked into the battlefield. The werewolf both looked at Thorn. Thus Luna also woke up. They looked at everyone. You want to play rough? Thorn growled. Then let's play. Thorn lunged at the werewolf and bit one of them, attacking Daphne by the neck. The werewolf groaned in pain as Thorn grabbed his fur and the werewolf ran off into the road. She let the werewolf go as the truck drive really fast. The truck hit the werewolf. We didn't see it, thankfully. Luna and Dust were attacked by the other werewolves who were attacking Fred. When Thorn bit his jaguar in the neck, the werewolf died after a second. Fred and Daphne got free. Shaggy and Scooby were running around with the book and only trying not to have Sarah get in. Thorn, I need you, Velma said. She placed her hand on Thorn's shoulder. Me, what the heck can I do? Thorn asked. You're a Wiccan, Velma explained. We need you to read the spell. It's the only way to defeat Sarah Raven. Are you fucking crazy? I told you, I'm not a real witch, Thorn replied. I was surprised that the baby movie had a lot of violence in it. As the original film, I didn't know didn't do it as crazy as it is. You still have the Wiccan blood. You can read the spell, Velma said. You don't have the book, Thorin said. Scooby does, Velma replied as Shaggy and Scooby were trying to pass the book to Velma. When Shaggy was being held by a zombie that was jumping on Shaggy, it caused Shaggy to drop the book. Scooby took the book, ran into Velma. The zombie was lurching Shaggy away from the book. He was jumping on Shaggy's upper body like a jockey from Left 4 Dead 2 would do. Shoot the thing! Shoot it! Shaggy cried as Thorin noticed Ben's revolver on the ground. She picked it up. She picked up the revolver and aimed the gun at the zombie. She shoots the zombie in the head, causing him to let Shaggy go. Sarah was now getting really mad. I had enough. Sarah screamed as she made a tree come to life. It grabs Scooby. He throws the book to Daphne and catches it. As Daphne was about to run, the zombie grabbed her leg and started running after her and taking the book, only to have his leg paralyzed. Velma! He tossed the book. He tossed the book over to Velma. Velma, who caught it, and handed the book to Thorin. Read it quickly, Velma said, as Thorin opened the book and she began to read the spell. Sarah was really pissed off, and she would charge to Velma and Thorin. Ancient evil, get the death. Only good can repeat for misdeeds you have done, which were turned from when you became. When Thorin bell being said, all the monsters holding the game back disappeared. Thorin, it worked, Velma said as the book began to disappear. Sarah being imprisoned back in her old book. Ben Ravencroft was free, but he was done. Sarah then struck her in the spell book in the beta version of the movie. Daphne and Velma burned the spell book. Ben's lap book is the one the world will never buy, Velma commented. Thank goodness, Daphne added. Luna, along with the dust, sets the mirror. Coy and Thorin runs over to her father's side. He had a bullet for his shoulder. Daddy, look at me, Thorin said to her father. We're gonna get help. Sally. Mrs. Knight asked his daughter weakly. Yes, Thorin asked. She had tears in her eyes. I'm sorry for not telling you I've been tough-hearted myself. It's alright, Sally. Just don't do it again. Mrs. Knight said as weakly as he coughed. No, Daddy, don't do this, Sally said, tears welling in her eyes. It'll be okay, Mr. Knight said. I'm not gonna die, Sally. Well, thank goodness, but you're bleeding, Thorin said to her father, but she then turned to Ben Ravencroft. She pulled out a gun she had earlier. She cocked the safety off and pointed the gun at Ben. Look, I'm really sorry for all that happened, Ben pleaded, but Sally scowled. Huh, you ain't giving me away that easily. You almost killed my father, Thorin growled as she pointed the gun at Ben's head. Don't ever come near me, my friends, or my family ever again, Thorin said as she shot Ben as the loud gunshot was heard. We didn't get to see Ben shot, thank God. Help is on the way, Luna said. Thorin's father was taken to the hospital. The next scene transitions into the concert where the Hesperus were performing. We could see that Thorin's father with the bandages on her shoulder. He was enjoying the concert. Scooby and the gang were joining in performance with the Head Girls. And the credits roll after that. After watching the film, I was surprised. I was amazed. This early version of the movie was better. But you may be asking, why did I make it to the final project? Well, here's my answer by reading a review on the comment on the Microsoft Store. 5 out of 5 stars. Here what the reviewer said. This version of the movie was amazing, even though it mentioned dark topics such as self-harming, violence, but Ben Ravencroft was gonna own a gun. But when the final project was made, they took the gun and other dark themes away, just for the sake of not wanting to scare anyone. After reading that comment, I screwed for the scenes anymore. There wasn't any more comments. I found out the real reason the beta version of the movie was too dark for the kids is why Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost didn't come out in 1998. I still have the movie from Microsoft Store, but due to copyright reasons, I can't upload this beta movie on YouTube or any other video sharing sites. If you want to see the beta version of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, I don't think it would be the best idea if I let you see it. Wow. Okay, so that was Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost 1998 version. It was not as hard to do as Alien Invaders. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but Jesus, that was a mouthful. So yeah, if Shadow Linus is reading this, watching this, I guess I'm gonna see if I can do the Zombie Island one, but there's a lot of videos of that story, but I might do that. So yeah, that was fun. It was hard to get through because my voice is like driving me crazy. So yeah. Anyway, next time I'll do Scooby Doo on Zombie Island beta version. So see you next time. Bye.